On April 11, 2025, Tesla made headlines by halting new orders for its US-made Model S and Model X vehicles in China. This decision came amid escalating trade tensions between the US and China, with China imposing 125% tariffs on US goods in retaliation to US tariffs on Chinese imports, now totaling 145%. Tesla's move underscores the impact of the ongoing trade war on multinational companies operating in both markets. The affected models, imported from the US, had limited volume in China in 2024, with 1,553 Model X and 311 Model S vehicles imported. In contrast, Tesla manufactures the Model 3 and Model Y at its Shanghai facility for both domestic and international sales, which comprise the bulk of Tesla's sales in China. This halt in orders not only affects Tesla's sales but also signals a broader challenge for American companies operating in China. The trade tensions have already impacted major companies like Tesla, which halted orders in China for its US-made Model S and Model X. Meanwhile, China is actively pursuing stronger global trade ties, with President Xi Jinping meeting Spain's Prime Minister and planning visits to several Southeast Asian nations. Barons, the situation highlights the complexities of international trade and the delicate balance companies must maintain when operating across borders. As Tesla navigates these challenges, the company's decisions will likely have ripple effects throughout the global automotive industry. As the news of the halted orders echoed through financial markets and tech circles, all eyes turned to Tesla's enigmatic CEO Elon Musk. Known for his bold decisions, Musk framed the move not merely as a reaction to tariffs but as part of a broader geopolitical chess game. In a surprise livestream discussion with Tesla investors, Musk stated, "You can't build a sustainable future on the foundation of unfair trade dynamics. If we cave to this today, tomorrow we'll be building cars for free and paying to ship them." Behind closed doors, Tesla executives had been meeting for weeks to assess China's rising hostility toward U.S. firms. The 125% tariff on US-made electric vehicles wasn't just an economic hit, it was a statement. China was warning American giants, play by our rules or pay the price. Tesla had already pivoted much of its manufacturing base to Shanghai, building Model 3s and YS for domestic consumption. But the Model S and Model X, with their larger size and luxury pricing, remained imports. By freezing these orders, Musk wasn't just protecting margins, he was sending a message. "We're not going to subsidize your retaliation," he reportedly told a top official from China's Ministry of Commerce during a tense phone call leaked to the press. But what made the freeze especially shocking was its timing. Just months earlier, Tesla had ramped up production of the Model S and X in Fremont, California, partially banking on growing demand from Chinese elites for top-tier American EVs. With their futuristic steering yokes and spaceship-like interiors, these models symbolized Tesla's tech superiority. Musk had hoped they'd cement Tesla's luxury brand appeal in Asia. Yeah? That dream was shelved. And Tesla's competitors were watching closely. NIO, BYD, and XPeng, China's homegrown EV titans, immediately seized on the opportunity. Within hours of the announcement, BYD slashed prices on its luxury Han EV model by 7%, targeting Tesla's Model S customers. Influencers on Chinese social platforms mocked Musk, calling him a Silicon Valley showman who blinked first. But American supporters rallied around Musk. On X, formerly Twitter, hashtags like #StandWithTesla and #MuskVSChina began trending. Fox News aired a primetime segment titled, "Elon Musk Takes on China, the New Cold Tech War." Meanwhile, U.S. lawmakers weighed in. Senator Josh Hawley tweeted, "Elon Musk is doing what Biden won't, standing up to the CCP's economic warfare. We need to back American companies, not bow to Beijing." Even some progressives, typically critical of Musk, quietly acknowledged his defiance as a powerful stance against authoritarian economic manipulation. Still, Wall Street wasn't sure what to make of it. Tesla's stock dipped 3.4% in after-hours trading the day of the freeze. Analysts from JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs issued mixed reports. Was Musk making a visionary stand or risking a crucial growth market for an ideological crusade? In reality, it was a bit of both. Insiders say the decision had been brewing for months, with Musk growing increasingly frustrated at the dual pressure of American regulatory probes and Chinese economic pushback. He felt cornered, one Tesla board member anonymously confessed. And when Elon feels cornered, he fights. When Elon Musk halted Tesla's US-made vehicle sales in China, he didn't just interrupt a supply chain, he ignited a firestorm across two of the world's largest economies. In Beijing, government officials scrambled to control the narrative. Chinese state media painted the move as inconsequential, noting that Tesla's Chinese production facility in Shanghai continued normal operations. They emphasized that the Model 3 and Model Y, Tesla's best-selling models, were still being delivered on schedule. But beneath the surface, the Chinese auto industry was buzzing with both opportunity and apprehension. "This is a vacuum. A powerful vacuum," said Li Qing, a senior executive at NIO. "And if Tesla's luxury segment pulls out, we are ready to fill it." Chinese automakers rushed to ramp up marketing for their higher-end EVs. Xpeng launched a flashy new commercial within 24 hours of the Tesla Freeze announcement, showcasing its futuristic G9 SUV in a video set on Mars, clearly a jab at Musk's own interplanetary ambitions. But while China's tech scene celebrated the perceived win, not everyone was convinced. Several Chinese Tesla owners took to social media lamenting the freeze as a sign that the golden era of American innovation in China might be ending. Resale values of the Model S and X in China dropped overnight. Some Tesla fans, used to flaunting their imported Teslas as a badge of prestige, began to feel uneasy. Meanwhile, in the United States, the move sparked new waves of nationalistic pride. Conservative talk radio shows praised Musk as a modern-day Paul Revere, ringing alarm bells about China's economic aggression. Business commentators called his decision the boldest trade stand by a private CEO since the Cold War. And in Washington, D.C., political ripple effects were immediate. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle began drafting new legislation to support American EV exports. A bipartisan bill, proposed under the name the Fair Trade Auto Act, aimed to offer tax breaks to U.S. automakers exporting to allied nations while imposing reciprocal tariffs on imports from countries like China. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt addressed the situation in a rare primetime briefing. "The administration supports fair trade, and we commend any American company that upholds the principles of mutual respect in global commerce." While the statement was cautious, it was interpreted as tacit approval of Musk's stand. But the deeper concern wasn't just tariffs. It was whether this signaled the start of a complete decoupling of American innovation from China's manufacturing ecosystem. Tesla was seen as the last major U.S. tech company still deeply entangled in China's economy. With this move, analysts began wondering, is Musk preparing to pull out entirely? A leaked internal memo from Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory revealed that the company was conducting an audit of critical supplier dependencies in mainland China. One executive wrote, "If tensions escalate, we need contingency plans to relocate essential operations." This sent tremors across global markets. In Germany, France, and South Korea, countries with strong EV sectors, calls to court Tesla with subsidies and incentives grew louder. By the end of the week, what started as a supply chain tweak had turned into a global tech political moment. The Tesla freeze was no longer about car orders. It was about control, about influence, about who gets to lead the future of mobility and who gets left behind. While the public saw Elon Musk as a bold warrior challenging global trade norms, behind Tesla's glass walls in Palo Alto and Shanghai, a storm was brewing. The freeze in China wasn't just a political play, it was a calculated risk that brought Tesla's internal tensions to a boiling point. The Model S and Model X accounted for only a small fraction of Tesla's global sales, but they played a huge role in the company's brand image, especially in international markets like China, where status symbols matter. Internally, several top Tesla executives had opposed Musk's decision. One of them was Tao Lin, a rising Chinese-born executive who had helped Tesla navigate its earliest partnerships in the region. In a now widely leaked email, she warned, "We are risking long-term trust for short-term leverage. The Chinese consumer does not forget being ghosted." Her email became a point of contention. Some executives agreed, fearing that Tesla was surrendering brand loyalty. Others, particularly those in Fremont, believed this was a necessary battle to assert American leadership in the tech economy. Meanwhile, at SpaceX headquarters, Elon Musk was splitting his attention between rockets and EVs. But according to insiders, the China situation became an obsession. A staff member close to Musk said, "He wasn't sleeping. He was pacing halls at 3 a.m. He kept talking about how no company can survive if it's economically kneecapped by its own government's policies and a foreign power's retaliation. And the fear wasn't just China. Tesla's leadership knew that if China could slap 125% tariffs on imported vehicles, other markets might follow. Protectionist policies were on the rise globally. What would happen if India, Brazil, or the EU decided to do the same? Tesla's global logistics team was immediately ordered to rework the entire shipping matrix. Countries that once imported from Fremont would now be prioritized through Shanghai or Berlin. It was a logistical nightmare and a potential brand dilution problem, too. Would a German-made Model X be seen as authentic to Tesla's core ethos? Would customers care? At the same time, Elon took to X, formerly Twitter, in a rare, extended thread. Tesla is not just a car company. It's a mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. That mission must not be hijacked by politics. But if it is, we will fight. The post garnered 23 million views, with replies from both critics and supporters. Joe Rogan reposted it with a fire emoji. Vivek Ramaswamy praised it as patriotism in motion. Even Barack Obama chimed in subtly, stating, "Fairness in trade must go both ways." But the decision was also personal. Musk had long felt frustrated by growing Chinese surveillance over Tesla operations. In 2024, rumors had circulated that the CCP was pressuring Tesla to share data from its self-driving systems. Though Tesla denied any cooperation, Musk knew the surveillance stakes were real. "They want our tech," he allegedly said in a boardroom. "Not our values." By halting Model S and X orders, Musk wasn't just pushing back against unfair tariffs. He was pulling the brakes on deeper tech entanglement, one where data, AI, and autonomy could all become bargaining chips. Inside Tesla, this triggered an ideological shift. A new internal initiative called Project Phoenix was born, a complete reevaluation of Tesla's global manufacturing map, aiming to diversify supply chains away from geopolitical hotspots. One executive described it bluntly. "We're not just building electric cars anymore. We're building the future. And we need to make sure that future is secure." By the time the third week rolled around after Elon Musk's announcement, global markets had adjusted. Chinese luxury car buyers started eyeing local EV alternatives. American politicians used Musk's move to fuel campaign speeches. European regulators scrambled to update trade frameworks. But beneath it all, something much bigger had shifted. The freeze wasn't just a headline, it was a line in the sand. Across America, the conversation around Elon Musk had changed. He was no longer just the guy behind rockets and electric cars. He was now a symbol of resistance, a billionaire CEO who had stood up to a country that had for years dictated the terms of global commerce. News programs across the U.S. ran segments titled, "Elon versus China, the trade war we didn't expect." Tesla's quiet revolution. When a car company became a country's backbone. At Tesla's shareholder meeting in Austin, Musk took the stage to a standing ovation. The crowd of investors, employees, and fans roared not for earnings reports or stock splits, but for principle. Musk stood before them wearing a black tee that read, "Made in Earth." For Earth. He paused, then said, "We live in a world where our code, our data, our designs, they're the new weapons. We didn't fire a shot. We simply said, if you punish our innovation, we'll take it elsewhere." The crowd erupted. He continued, "This wasn't anti-China. This was pro-fairness. Pro-future. And if that makes us the target of geopolitics, so be it. We'll innovate faster than anyone can retaliate." That message resonated not just in the boardroom, but across generations. Young American entrepreneurs began citing Musk's move in LinkedIn posts and business podcasts. College students wrote op-eds about trade ethics and corporate sovereignty. Tesla forums flooded with users pledging to buy American, build local, think global. But in the background, quieter but equally impactful movements were taking place. In China, the Ministry of Commerce quietly reached out through third-party intermediaries seeking to reopen dialogue with Tesla. Rumors began to swirl about behind-the-scenes negotiations to reduce tariffs if Tesla would resume full-scale deliveries. "They blinked first," one Tesla insider said, smiling. In Washington, a classified memo circulated among senior officials. It was marked, "Confidential, Commercial Diplomacy." The Musk Doctrine. It outlined how a private enterprise had shifted the tone of U.S.-China trade, not through bombs or boycotts, but through software, batteries, and ideology. It proposed using the Tesla case as a model for how American businesses might gain more leverage in the future. And in Musk's own words, delivered in a now-viral clip, "Sometimes disruption isn't about technology. It's about values." about knowing when to say no, about knowing when to let go, so you can build something stronger. Back at the Gigafactory in Texas, a new line of vehicles was already in design. Codenamed Project Liberty, they would be Tesla's most American-made cars ever. Every chip, every bolt, every piece of AI, sourced domestically or from trusted allies. It wasn't just about building cars. It was about building trust. And in a world increasingly divided by firewalls, tariffs, and surveillance, trust had become the most valuable commodity of all. As the first Liberty edition rolled off the line months later, Musk walked beside it. He didn't tweet. He didn't speak. He just placed a hand on the hood, nodded to the crowd of cheering workers, and walked away. The message was clear. Tesla wasn't backing down. It was moving forward.